The biggest scam that you've been sold is that your addiction is the reason you're not successful. The most common one I've seen is the hub addiction. I mean, look at this guy. He's made hundreds of videos talking about quitting and nofap. He knows that it's an infinite view glitch. His viewers think that if they stop watching adult content, all of a sudden they're going to become successful. People channel all of their weaknesses through one insecurity and think that if they overcome that insecurity, all of a sudden all of their problems are going to be solved. I can't talk to girls because I have low confidence, because I watch too much. I don't have the energy to work out because I choke my chicken 5 times a day, and I can't focus because of it. And all of my problems are from this one thing. Self-improvement creators know this frame of thinking and exploit it to the max, which is why there's millions of videos talking about quitting and very few about how to actually do it and what quitting did for them, whether it was a mindset shift or new confidence from quitting that benefited their life long term. The brutal truth is that your addiction isn't the problem. You have a life purpose problem. Sure, of course, you shouldn't abuse adult content, nicotine, food, material possessions, but just by quitting your addictions doesn't mean you're all of a sudden going to become successful. And this is extremely easy to prove. All I need to do is point at successful people who openly have addictions. And I know you know plenty of people who have no such addictions and they're still unsuccessful. I mean, we literally admire addicts because their success in any way is not inhibited by their addiction. How many people do we know and love that are addicted to women, pharmaceuticals, and especially gambling? Michael Jordan was able to become the most famous person on the planet, an international sports superstar, and dominated the NBA for a decade while also being a crippling gambling addict.
Do you have a gambling problem?
No, I enjoy it. It's a hobby. If I had a problem, I'd be starving. I'd be hawking this watch. My championship rings, I would sell my house. I would do this. My wife would left me, or she'd be starving, or my kids would be starving. I do not have a problem. I enjoy gambling.
It doesn't really seem like his addiction stopped him from doing much. Being an addict is not going to stop you from achieving your goals. Your addictions are not the reason you're not successful. You're not successful, so you become addicted to make yourself feel better about your circumstances. Action is the only thing that matters. Kanye West self-admittedly said that at the age of 5, he found one of his dad's dirty magazines and was addicted from that point on.
My dad had a Playboy left out at age 5. And it's affected almost every choice I made for the rest of my life from age 5.
Unfortunately, we've seen how this one addiction has plagued his life and relationships with his partners. But despite the addiction, Kanye West has become one of the greatest and most influential musicians and fashion designers in the world. You should quit or drastically reduce the amount of adult content that you consume. But even if you can't, don't act like that's the reason that you aren't achieving your goals. You could wake up at 4 every morning, take a cold shower, meditate, journal, and get sunlight in your eyes like Andrew Huberman. But if you aren't directly working on the tasks that are relevant towards your goals, you're completely wasting your time. The most ironic thing is, you're gonna be outworked by the guy who wakes up at 12 p.m. with a hangover, who beats his meat to Violet Myers first thing after inhaling his strawberry-flavored cancer box. The reality is, he actually works on what he needs to do and doesn't procrastinate. You have it backwards. You think that you aren't achieving your goals because of your addictions, but you get addicted because you aren't actively achieving your goals. You're using your addictions as a coping mechanism. You feel guilty that you aren't going to the gym, studying, working, so you fall back on what gives you comfort. And you think that falling back on what's comfortable is stopping you, but really it's the inaction towards your goals. If you were actively working towards your goals, you would have less time to think about your addiction and therefore would relapse less often. But the fundamental flaw with modern day self-improvement is that it constantly teaches you to think about your addiction. I mean, does anyone else think it's weird to count the days of you not relapsing? It's a weird, sick obsession. You have to constantly be cognizant of how long it's been since you last busted a nut. In addiction support groups, the first step is to admit to your addiction. I am an alcoholic. I am a drug addict, which is a crucial step in solving the problem, but you don't have to associate yourself with your addiction much longer after realizing the problem and let it take up space in your mind. Step 2 is to stop identifying with the addiction and associating that behavior to you. The simple cure that no one will tell you is to find a purpose in life that's more fulfilling than your current state of addiction. This life purpose should be so enchanting that your addiction should have no bounds on it. Find one thing you to work on, even if no one ever paid you or praised you for it. Your life purpose should become your new addiction. Constantly watching videos about how to quit the hub will never make you permanently quit, and more importantly, will never make you get any closer to achieving your goals. You're not taking any sort of action, and all you're really doing is spending more time concerning yourself and thinking about your addiction. You're supposed to be doing research to find a solution to your addiction, when in reality, it literally is making you more likely to relapse due to stress and anxiety. Most channels bait with women in the thumbnail to begin with, making it more likely to trigger you. What you don't understand is that your addiction is not the reason that all of your problems exist, and that quitting your addiction will not magically solve all your problems. You think that you can't talk to women because you're addicted to watching the hub, but that's wrong. You can't talk to women because you don't know how, and the only way you'll learn is through talking to them even when you're nervous or don't know what to say. Like with any skill, you'll only get better through repetition, talking to more women and understanding whether or not they're attracted to you based on body language. Everything I just said is an actionable step, and none of it has to do with quitting your addiction. Obviously, the end goal is for you to quit certain behaviors that don't serve you or that are possibly detrimental to your life. But for now, you can easily overcome your addictions through constant hard work and effort. You could be in your mom's basement gooning 4 hours a day, but as long as you practice striking up conversations with random girls at your college or workplace without being weird, that's all that matters. As ridiculous as it may seem, you'd actually be ahead of the guy who's on a 100-day no-fap streak but still doesn't have the courage to talk to a random girl. Action is quite literally the only thing that matters, and you can spend all this time on mindset, but it's ultimately pointless if it doesn't lead to anything in the real world. At the end of the day, your addiction isn't the villain, it's your inaction. You're not failing because of bad habits, you're failing because you're not consistently taking steps towards your goals. Stop obsessing over your streaks, your routines, or mindset hacks. Start obsessing over execution. Build something. Move forward, even if it's messy. And if you need real guidance, not recycled advice, hit the link in the description for a free 30-minute one-on-one coaching. Let's actually get you moving to where you need to be.